All right, I am in my hallway, and you're looking at what is engineered light in my hallway where I have no lights on. So this is my bedroom, opening and closing the door. This is light, the pattern of the blinds, magnified in size. This is impossible light activity. This light is appearing in the hallway while the bedroom door is cracked. My room is illuminated with engineered light. And then you also see the concentrated method of engineered light, which reaches out into the hallway as well. This is magnification. The entity is keeping a light source on March 22nd, visible through the window of the Fontana Lewis Library, which I captured on video at 6:02 p.m. The entity is maintaining a light source over the Ovid Family Community Library as a matter of documentation between the hours of 8 in the morning and 6:30 in the evening, while I am literally inside of that venue capturing the light source, looking at it. None of this is coexisting with the light source that is remaining, first of all, over the property for the duration of the day as it's rising through my living room window and setting through my bedroom window. And nor is it capable of coexisting with this is being visible, being visible also at the same time through the entrance doors of the Ovid Family Community Library, just to give you an example. That's called stalking with light, and it's in the depths of my dark hallway. And that's speaking to what is criminal presence. That's speaking to what is state surveillance that's underway. And it's entirely demonic. This is prosecution for, the documentation, which is prosecution. But you're looking at my shadow. It's upright, and this is my shadow right here. This is engineered light. All right, and in the hallway, on the ceiling, you're now seeing that engineered light, which was impossible to ever occur in the first place, is now gone, okay? That is understanding what is the demonic. This environment is illustrative of what is the physical condition of those who are maintaining presence, targeting someone together. They have what is the condition of demon possession. That is something you cannot see on a person, okay? It's spiritual. It's physically invisible. But what the entity is doing in the environment is revelatory with regard to what their condition is, and that's relevant to the mind state. The demon-possessed population that are engaging in this criminal surveillance system, they are a threat to the public safety while they're acting, and this is a matter of public corruption that the government, the state of California, is engaging in, and this is documentation of what is that terrorism, okay? That's the P.O.C. While the entity is maintaining this engineered light all throughout my apartment. Well until after 6 p.m. the entity is maintaining engineered light into the depths of my apartment. This is documented terrorism. And while you're looking at this light that's filling my apartment, you're looking at what is also engineered light. This is the sunlight that's all over the property while the light source is outside of the Fontana Lewis Library as I'm facing Sierra at 6:02 in the afternoon. This is the same hillside where you observed a so-called sunrise. There is no provision for the sun to ever be over me while I'm at 101 South Main Street in the presence of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. This is where the entity is maintaining a sunrise. All right, if this is the natural environment, you're not engaging in such grand departures. It's the two are not happening at the same time. It's not rising over the south side of the Ontario Museum of History and Arts where I am sleeping, and the entity is engaging in an ongoing sunrise day in and day out, and then also a sunset, also at that same intersection that I've documented. Sun setting while I am remaining at the Ovid Family Community Library, setting as I'm also documenting the so-called sunset at 231 South Beulah Avenue, Economy Inn, setting while I am at the Fontana Lewis Library on Seville and Sierra, and I'm documenting Sergeant Rice group stalking at 7 p.m. And this demon has engineered light on his face, okay? And I'm on this street, that same intersection at 9:35 in the morning. You're making a grand departure. This has nothing to do with the natural environment, nor is any of that sunlight that you saw appearing on my ceilings in my dark hallway. All right, this is a prosecution for what is demonic activity, and because the government is doing it, the government is stalking in that environment, that is criminal surveillance. Okay, forgive me for the noise, that's my tea kettle, but I wanted to document that. That's ongoing terrorism via directed light. That's what LAPD is engaging in. That's what Precious Bastillos is using her children to engage in, while she is being a whole demon and a psychopath, monitoring me, walking in front of me to engage in that criminal conduct, and then the audible activity. Those are the demon-possessed that are stalking by helicopter, acting in concert with that third party, who is literally engaging in ongoing evidence that's going to be used to take those children from her. She's a threat to those children, abusing them and engaging in what is ongoing impunity and demonstrating her very highly deranged mind state while she's engaging in that criminal conduct with impunity, and you're listening and analyzing the substance of that audible activity. That's a very mentally deranged individual, and that is illustrative of the entity, especially while you see the environment that they're surrounding me in. All right, that's the P.O.C. It is currently 5:33 p.m. There's no sunlight that's going to be touching over a property where you're looking at the sunrise that was 10 hours ago. In addition to that, the light source is outside of the Sierra Fontana Lewis Library. This isn't sunrise. It's not coexisting. And then you're looking at sunrise that's pushing through my windows, all right, going down at a downward trajectory through my closed blinds, magnified into my apartment. But then you are also looking at, this is a lower elevation. This apartment building is higher than this property down here, and you've got engineered light that's touching all over it still. This has nothing to do with the actual sun. The entity is just covering over because you're not paying attention to it, but the entity is just covering. You have engineered light that's just appearing all over in the same way that it's appearing inside of my apartment. It's P.O.C. It is currently 5:33 p.m.